Hi, everyone, and welcome to 21 Next. I'm Elise Person. Thanks so much for joining us right here on YouTube. We have a lot of news to get into, including a standoff in Middle Paxton Township, as well as releasing the name of a man who was shot and killed at a Sheetz just on Christmas Eve. But I want to begin with that standoff in Middle Paxton. So a large amount of state troopers, they were at this neighborhood. Not much was known about it, but we did receive some photos of people wearing bulletproof vests near in that township, Middle Paxton Township. So CBS 21, we had a crew on the scene. There was ambulances there, state troopers. So this is still a very developing story. CBS 21's Maxine Rose is still on the scene. She wasn't able to actually jump in with us on this YouTube stream because she's busy working at the scene. But I also now want to jump into next talking about that Christmas Eve shooting at a Sheetz that proved fatal. We have now received the identity of the man that was shot. He's 23 years old. His name is Tivary Barlett, and he died from multiple gunshot wounds. So this all happened again on Christmas Eve. What a tragedy. We spoke with people in the area who said they thought they heard gunshots that night, so they got out of there. They said, I was frightened by what I was hearing. It all went down. Police were dispatched to the scene around 5:30 on Christmas Eve. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Barlett, and the coroner down in York County has ruled this death a homicide. As of right now, though, no suspects have been identified by York County Regional Police as they continue to investigate. So that's the latest off of that tragic and deadly Christmas Eve shooting. But I want to shift gears a little bit as we have a big, game for many of us here in Central PA, Penn State's Fiesta Bowl coming up. So I'm now joined by our very own, Penn State, expert, if you would. He's been to a few games this season, been reporting for us. So Andrew, tell us, Penn State versus Boise State, what are you expecting from this game? You think it's going to be a good matchup?
Yeah, well, look, first off, Elise, I'm definitely not an expert, would not call me that. Maybe not just yet. I think it's going to be a good game. Look, Boise State is not a team that a lot of people really know about, but if there's one guy you should know about, it's their running back, Ashton Jeanty. I think he's the best player in the country. I think he should have been the Heisman. The guy's numbers are absolutely off the charts. He's got nearly 2,500 rushing yards, a chance to break Barry Sanders' record with a big week against Penn State. So all eyes are going to be on Jeanty. The guy does not get stopped. You can't take him down after contact. You can't even tackle him. 143 missed tackles. That's the most in the country and the most ever in a season where the college football playoff ends things out. So that's going to be the key guy. Penn State's an 11-point favorite right now. I would not take Penn State with the points, but I would take them by 10. I think it's going to be a good game, but I think that Penn State defense really needs to show up. They've been really good against the run, and I think they should be able to have success against Boise State. I don't think Jeanty running for 175 yards is, what you want to see. But at the same time, if he's the only guy that can get going on Boise State's offensive line from getting up the field to your linebackers, allow your linebackers to make the tackle against the running back. That's what Penn State's going to have to do. Those linebackers, no other goal but to tackle Ashton Jeanty. Again, it is impossible to tackle Ashton Jeanty. He's got 2,497 rushing yards on the year, 1,800 almost 1,900 are after contact. So you got to wrap the guy.
So much, Andrew. And you can learn more about this game listening to the Triple Option podcast as well that our, broader company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, puts on. So thanks so much, Andrew. I really appreciate you being with us here tonight and breaking down some of those numbers and what to watch. I know it's going to be a big game for many of us here in Central PA. So thank you so much. I want to shift gears a little bit, sending it down south to Florida. Kind of a little bit of a crazy story, one of the crazier ones that I've seen for sure, about a dispute over a pizza tip that could have turned deadly. So, very intense moments here. So we reported on this earlier in our 5 and 6 o'clock broadcast about this woman who delivered a pizza to a woman and her 5-year-old child at a motel down in Florida. And she didn't appreciate the tip that she had received. So she then came back to the motel, not with a pizza pie the second time, but rather with a man with a gun. And the two of them broke into that room. The woman that you're seeing right here on your screen, that's her 22-year-old Brianna Alvello. Her and that man went into that motel room, very upset about the tip that she had received. She then attacked the woman in front of her 5-year-old child and stabbed her with a knife multiple times. A warrant was issued for her arrest. She was arrested on December 23rd, just the day before Christmas, and she is now in jail without bail. So definitely a very, interesting and kind of crazy, bizarre story coming out of Florida that we've, just been reporting on today. But before we wrap things up, I want to talk a little bit about the warm-up Central PA might be feeling coming into the new year. So we're now joined by our very own Ed Russo, and tell us, what is it looking like? Warm, but maybe a little wet?
Yeah, usually warm-ups this time of the year come with the threat for wet weather, and certainly going to be no different this time around. So as we go through the weekend, it's going to get milder, around 50 on Saturday, 60 on Sunday. So that's actually Sunday evening, and temperatures are likely going to be close to 60 degrees. So this is tomorrow night. So this is the weather system tomorrow night. Just some showers coming through, mainly during the overnight. There could be some freezing rain at the onset over the Poconos tomorrow evening, but here it's just going to be liquid, no issues with any kind of winter weather travel. But let's go back to that other graphic. We'll show you Sunday. It looks like the bulk of this rain is going to come through Sunday evening and Sunday night. So during the day Sunday, prior to the rain's arrival, we're looking at temperatures pushing up near 60 degrees, possibly even milder. And with temperatures that warm this time of the year, I can't even rule out a rumble of thunder. So a spring preview. We're going to turn a lot colder as we head into the new year. So the first couple days, or as we head, after New Year's Day, it's going to get very cold around here. It's going to feel like the thick of winter. I think we're going to see colder temperatures than what we saw, just recently prior to Christmas. So it feels like the season.
Wow. Well, we all better, really appreciate this little warm up we're about to feel before the temperatures plummet. And
you might be able to enjoy it a little bit before the rain arrives on Sunday. Certainly Saturday is going to be pretty mild, around 50. And the weekend's not going to be a constant washout. I mean, the rain tomorrow night is really going to come through during the overnight. Most of the day looks dry on Saturday. Looks like morning, afternoon, looking fairly dry on Sunday as we warm up. But then Sunday evening and Sunday night, we'll be tracking that heavier rain, which honestly, the area still needs. We're still in a drought. Parts of the area even considered to be in severe drought. So 1 to 2 inches of rain, which is entirely possible in just Sunday's system alone, will alleviate that.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks so much, Ed. I really appreciate you joining us here on YouTube. But that is all the news that we have for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us on YouTube right here on 21 Next. And we hope to see you next time. Thanks again.